What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma. This one is the Limited, finished off in black. MSRP is just over $60,000. Big shout out to Flo Toyota of Statesville for providing this new Tacoma for today's video. Take a look at their website, links down below. Underneath the hood of the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma Limited, you're going to find the iForce Max. This is a 2.4 liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged hybrid engine. This pumps out 326 horsepower with 465 pound-feet of torque. Paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission, the Limited has a full-time 4-wheel drive system with locking center differential. Overall curb weight is 5,100 pounds. This runs on an 18.2 gallon fuel tank, and you're looking at 23 miles per gallon in the city with 24 out on the highway. Towing capacity is also about 6,000 pounds with max payload capacity at 1,600 pounds. And the overall length is 213 inches with a wheelbase at 131.9, width is 77.9, and height is 74.6 inches. Moving on to the exterior styling with the all-new 2024 Tacoma Limited. This is basically the luxury version of the Tacoma. You're going to see a really nice set of LED headlights with the daytime running lights. You can see a nice trim piece down below that, and then you're going to see horizontal slots in this chrome grille. You can see the nice design to it, forward-facing camera as well, safety sensor in the center, and then more of this chrome trim throughout the bumper. Got LED fog lights, some plastic trim in the lower bumper, as well as a massive air dam, and then tow hooks down below that. You do have forward parking sensors, and then on the fender flares, you're going to see a nice vent to provide some airflow. Has a pretty nice look. Of course, the 4th gen Tacoma has a bolder appearance. You have sharp lines throughout the hood, fading towards the windshield. The Limited definitely does take it up a notch for that luxury vibe. You have a set of body color fender flares, and then a nice set of polished wheels. You can see the multi-spoke design, 18-inch diameter, and then you can see the sharp lines throughout this front. We got your iForce Max badge, indicating this is the hybrid engine. Chrome mirror caps, along with some black trim and a side view camera. Then you're going to see the chrome for these door handles and chrome on that Limited badge. Underneath, you are going to see a nice set of power-operated side steps. So once you go ahead and open the door, they're going to very quickly pop outwards, giving you that nice entry and exit. You can also see black trim throughout the side windows and a nice sunroof up on top. This Tacoma is the crew cab 4-door, so it's got a really good proportion all throughout it. And then you can see these LED lights lit up on the bedside. So a pretty nice touch to see that. Nice bulge in the rear fender arch as well, just giving it a nice smooth body line. You're also going to see integrations of the LED taillights with a button to open up that rear liftgate. Got a nice body colored rear bumper with parking sensors. You even have lift points on the frame, trailer hitch connection, all the plugs, and then we even have the Tacoma name written out into these inlay. Got another iForce Max badge, more of that polished color on the release handle, and then a nice chrome exhaust tip. The styling definitely comes together very well, especially on the Limited. Got a nice sharp contour in the upper portion of the bed, power sliding rear glass, along with a third brake light, camera integration, and more sharp lines up above. Taking a look at the key fob, we get lock, unlock, an automatic button for the tailgate. If I go ahead and lock the truck, I can just keep the key fob in my pocket, grabbing it, it will automatically unlock, and we can take a look at the interior. This one has a really cool gray interior with all these Softex seating surfaces. And then along the door panel, I love how you get the Softex material up on the upper portion, the gray color, you have padding for your armrest, and then a nice dark wood trim. Nice rugged grab handle with your release handle, all those controls, and a ton of storage all throughout it with a JBL audio. Got all your power controls on the seat. Another look at the side steps. Toyota is even written out. And then this is a really cool design for the seat. I love the perforations through it. Has a really nice pattern all throughout the center. And then flipping around, you got a nice 4-spoke steering wheel with some perforated leather and gray trim. And then now inside the 2024 Tacoma Limited, keeping my foot on the brake. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Engine will turn on along with the hybrid system. You're going to see controls on the left side of the steering wheel for Bluetooth and audio. You also have cruise control on the right. Taking a look at the center gauge cluster, you're going to see the tach on the left, speedometer on the right, and then I can scroll left and right using the icon on the steering wheel and see a few more things of information. Now if I go ahead and hold down the OK icon, you can actually configure what you're going to see. So this is very similar to what you're going to see on a lot of new Toyotas, so pretty nice design overall with trailer information, different vitals within the truck, the electric boost gauge, a few more items like that. On the right stalk, you are going to see all the windshield wiper controls, turn signals over on the left. And on the left side, you have more of this wood trim. You have the fuel cap, tailgate release, and you can also see some AC power, automatic high beams. You get just some plastic material up on the dashboard, but this one also does have the JBL speaker. So when you pop that out, you have a removable Bluetooth speaker. So that's a pretty cool touch to it as well. And then over on the right side, you get more of this nice wood trim with Tacoma. Huge storage area. I love the Softex material throughout the glove box cover. And then we have the massive screen. So once set up, of course, you'll have your full screen navigation. Of course, Bluetooth audio controls come up. And then under vehicle, you're gonna see a few things for trip information. Basically what you've seen in plenty other Toyotas. So simple screen overall with kind of everything you're gonna want to see. Now with this, you have the 360 camera system. So in reverse, you got a nice backup camera with a top-down view, and then you can configure all these. So tapping the different views, you can see your wheels, front and rear, take a look at what is in the bed of the truck. You have an auto icon, 360 as well. You can zoom in and out, which is a nice touch to see. So definitely a pretty sweet setup for this truck. Back into park, you're gonna see volume down below. You have temperature on the left side and right side for the dual zone. And then right in the center, we have our fan speed toggle, air conditioning. You can see a few more. You have your different modes, recirc, heated and ventilated seating with a heated steering wheel. We have the tow icon over here to adjust that. Then you're gonna see wireless charging. We have plugs down below, extra storage, nice grab handle, and then some leather around the shift boot. We are gonna get a electronic park and brake. Four-wheel drive select is right here for the low, high, and everything else. This is a full-time all-wheel drive system, so not necessarily typical four-wheel drive like in the TRD models. Drive mode, you are able to adjust, and we have a ton of modes. You can see a comfort mode, eco, then all the way into different sport modes, and then a custom one. So really nice to see all that in the Limited. We have more trailer adjustments, the camera icon to view, get a good look at the 360 view, and then you can adjust that. You're gonna see cup holders in the center, more of this vinyl material with the contrast stitching, and then you even have a lockable safe. That is a cool touch. Did not know the Limited would have that, but nonetheless, that is pretty sweet. And then popping that open, you have a huge glove box. One last look at the interior. This is way nicer than the typical Tacoma without the premium packages. The wood, all the Softex. This feels like a really nice truck for 60 grand. Up on top, you are gonna get just a basic sunroof. You can pop that open for your sunshade. Dome lights up above. You also are gonna get a sunglass holder, and then garage door buttons underneath the mirror, and this is even a digital mirror. Moving on to the rear seat space, grabbing the door handle, opening it up. Of course, you got the side steps. Taking a look at the rear door panel, mainly finished in plastic. You do get some padding on this rear armrest and some of that wood trim, grab handle, a little bit of storage, and then the really nice interior back here. All the same perforations, cool patterns. The headrest will fold down for better driver visibility, and then you can pull this strap up, and they will fold down flat, of course, once you get things out of the way. But you have the massive JBL audio, and then a little bit of storage. Now, being the hybrid, you don't get the space underneath the seat, so you can't pull that up like non-hybrids. That's the battery pack sitting here. You are gonna get a little bit of storage behind that seat, and then a few plugs and just 2 cup holders. So hopping into the back seat with the 2024 Tacoma Limited. So being that these front seats are a lot nicer than the basic cloth with the ventilated options, it appears that they are a little bit thicker. At 5'11", I am sitting here with my knees touching. I was not touching in the fabric, more basic interior trucks. So you're gonna have a little bit less legroom in here. The seat does feel a little more comfortable back here, or maybe just the material makes it feel nicer. Pretty decent seat overall. It's a little straight up, but actually not as bad as the cloth seat. I don't know if there's a real difference, but it feels a little more comfortable. Good headroom in here, no climate vents, no center armrest, but you do get padding on this armrest, which is plastic on the rest of them. So this interior definitely is a huge step up, and the back seat doesn't really feel all that bad. Moving on to the bed space, you can open this many different ways. I can just press this button and we can automatically open up that. Now you are going to see a nice spray and bed liner. We also have a rubber mat on this particular spec. You're going to see hooks in all the corners as well. And then on the right side, we have a nice power outlet, extra storage, LED lights, the railings. And then on this left side, we pop this open, we have a few extra storage items. Now, a cool way you can mess with this, if you want to close it, you can actually just give it a lift, just like that. Maybe use your knee or something if you got stuff in your hands, and it automatically opens. You can press the button on the left side as well, or of course, just press the button back here. But honestly, the power tailgate I'm kind of liking. A little unnecessary, but pretty cool, especially with stuff in your hands. Just give it a nice little bump and we can automatically close it up. All right, so setting off now in the hybrid Limited Tacoma. I've only ever driven the TRD Sports Off-Roads and the SR5. So this one, the full-time all-wheel drive, it might drive more like a crossover SUV than a truck. I guess we'll see. So far, this interior is amazing. This makes it look so nice. Of course, some of the TRDs, which are still, you know, $57,000, even 60 grand, are gonna have cloth. So this one having all this nice material on everything, there's hardly cheap plastic. So this is an interior that I am loving. Ventilated seats, the dual zone. I mean, this is really, really nice. So we're in comfort mode, just getting up and moving. Wow. I mean, that was just a little over 4,000 and that was effortless. That is so smooth, wow. So the hybrid system basically is going to give you that electronic assist to where you're not just stressing the turbo needing the boost. You have that perfect blend of boost and that electric to make this thing pretty darn peppy. Wow. So far, the suspension is really comfortable too. I just drove the TRD off-road and this definitely feels more comfortable. Let's go into comfort mode. We'll see what that does. But brakes also work well with the hybrid. Man, this thing is snappy. Barely touching the throttle. I mean, we are just moving. Wow. Regenerative braking, it's kind of slowing me down a little bit. This is a nice truck to drive. Visibility, normal things, I mean, as you'd expect. I love the camera system. That really helps if you want to keep the headrest up, or if you got kids in the back, people in the back, you don't have to worry about that. So I think that is a fantastic touch. The rear window is a little small, so that's really nice to have. The seats are super comfortable, really good bolsters, and nice and padded, and you can lift them up and down to where you can just get so comfortable in this truck. I don't think anybody's really gonna have an issue being comfortable in here. I like the steering feel as well. It's weighted enough to give you that mechanical feedback, but it's not cumbersome, especially if you're gonna be, you know, driving in tight parking spaces or maybe light off-road. This one isn't exactly the off-roader of the bunch, but nonetheless, this is a pretty nice to drive truck. Let's go ahead and go into Sport Plus, see what that does. And you can go into a manual shift mode if you want. So we can play with that a little bit, feel out the power with me shifting. Slow speeds, that 360 camera works really nicely, especially if you're gonna be using this for maybe towing, if you have a family boat or something. I mean, all that camera stuff is really gonna help you out. And let's get going. Almost had to beep at the little Corolla, but let's play with it a little bit. Wow. Dude, this thing is quick, and that's still just like 5,000. We're not going crazy on a new engine. Wow. That is nice. That is really nice. We're gonna go back into normal mode. Man, I'm liking this hybrid. I drove this in the Land Cruiser, but this feels so confident, stable. Man, I am just giving it this much throttle. This is a nice power plant for sure. And it rides so smooth too. This definitely doesn't have the Bilstein off-road suspension, so more of a street tune suspension. So my perspective now, honest thoughts with the Tacoma Limited. So I've driven the normal trim levels like you guys have seen on the channel. My biggest complaint is you gotta spend like 8 grand to get into the nice interior package with the Softex, the ventilated seats, the door panel to have nice materials other than cheap hard plastic. This kind of is one and done. The Limited comes fully loaded. I mean, the power side steps, the power tailgate. I thought that'd be more gimmicky, but I can see that being something you're gonna use if you're really using the tailgate. Yes, it's a little not trucky to have a power tailgate, a little on the maybe lame side for some people, but God, the features this truck has is pretty sweet. The hybrid power plant, that is cool. I know the reliability, the robustness of a turbo 4-cylinder is in question for a mid-sized truck. Not everybody's the biggest fan. Personally, I think the hybrids are probably going to outlast the normal turbos, mainly because you have the electronics aiding in the acceleration, towing. I mean, if you're towing with the normal 4-cylinder, you're putting a lot of boost through that engine to propel everything, especially towing a 5,000 pound boat or something. I mean, you're talking 10 to 12,000 pounds of overall weight that you're trying to move. The electronic motors, the assistance, takes the stress off the engine. So I'm excited to see the hybrids. I feel like that's kind of that sweet spot. You're not really getting that much better efficiency comparing it to the normal engine. However, you know, you're getting the power to it and just the slightest better efficiency. So then getting back up, I just like how smooth it is. Man, barely giving it throttle, we are just booking it. So this is a good daily. And again, the interior is so much better than the normal ones. You can get the normal ones with that $8,000 package and they're sweet. I mean, they're sporty, they got, you know, the material all throughout it. I just think you almost like, why couldn't they do that standard? You know, you gotta spend a lot more to get it. This for 60 grand, it doesn't seem too crazy expensive when you compare it to the competition. I mean, you can get a Raptor Ranger for less than this, but a very nicely equipped, you know, other trucks are pretty much similar in price point. This might be the sweet spot. I know a lot of people will get the off-roads, the pros, fully loaded for at least 60 grand or more. But honestly, a lot of people aren't ever off-roading. A lot of people are mall crawling. You know, they're little pavement princesses who are not truly off-roading. This is the car for the honest mid-sized truck buyer who knows they're never gonna off-road and who truly is gonna use this for a family truck. And this is kind of that sweet spot. It is really nice on-road. It's incredibly smooth. It can tow, it can haul, and you get a great interior, a great driving experience. Plenty of room in here. The back seat space still isn't the best. General Motors does it better. It's decent back there, but not the best. But yeah, the Limited, man, this is a nice truck. My brother's probably buying the off-road, fully loaded hybrid. I might have to ask him about this one. I know we are going to do off-road adventure, so this is probably not ideal for us, given we will use the locking differentials, you know, sway bar disconnect. This one is not about that. You could do a light trail, you know, maybe like a camping trip or something would be great for this truck. But, you know, this isn't going to be the hardcore off-roader. Stock form, though, I would say this is the dad spec Tacoma. You know, you want the fun one to off-road, you know, your dad's probably going to want the one that's more easy on the road. So that's kind of what the Limited is. But this has been great to check out. I'm really, really impressed with it. Hopefully, Mike can get his soon and check out the nicer interior on the TRDs, because it changes the whole perspective. The cheap plastic interiors feel like kind of crap on these for the money. This is a pretty darn nice truck. So there is the 2024 Tacoma Limited. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content. Big shout out to Flo Toyota of Statesville for providing this truck for today's video. Take a look at their website linked below, and I'll see you all in the next video.